saved you.
Humbug.
Oh, Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't need it, I'm sure.
I do. Now, Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? Now, what reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Oh, come then. What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Oh, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world of fools such as this? Merry Christmas. Out on Merry Christmas. What is Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills with no money? Or a time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew! Let me celebrate Christmas my way you celebrate it in yours.
Don't celebrate it. You don't celebrate it.
Yeah, then let me leave it alone, then. Much good may it do you, much good as it ever done you.
Oh, well, there are many things from which I've derived good, from which I did not profit, I dare say. But I've always believed that Christmas time is a good time, as a kind, charitable, pleasant, forgiving time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem of one consent to open up their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of others below them as fellow passengers to the grave, not as other creatures on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe Christmas has done me good, and will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Let me hear another sound out of you, Bob Cratchit, and you can keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You are quite an impressive speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Oh, I'll see you in hell first.
Why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Oh, because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you haven't come before. Why use it as a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry to find you so resolute. We've never had any quarrels to which I've been a party, but I've made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. And so, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these past 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
During this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries, sir. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
Well, the treadmill and the poor law are still in full vigor then?
Oh, both very busy, sir.
Oh, well, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm glad to hear it.
Well, under the impression that they hardly furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitudes, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time above all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall we put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. Now, I support the establishments I mentioned before. They cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
Well, if they would rather die, they'd better hurry up and do it and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon, sir. suppose you're going to want the whole day tomorrow.
It's quite convenient.
It's not convenient and it's not fair. If I were to stop a half a crown for it, I think you would think yourself ill-used, no doubt. And if you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
That's a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Or you be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Bob!
Bob Cratchit ran home to Camden Town as hard as he could pelt. Scrooge closed the shop.
Yes.
And having eaten all his dinner and read all his newspaper, he went home to bed.
Scrooge lived in a set of chambers that had once belonged to Jacob Marley. They were gloomy enough and dreary enough, for nobody lived in them but Scrooge.
The yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, had almost to grope his way with his hands.
Fog and frost hung about the black old gateway of the house.
Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large.
It is also a fact that Scrooge had stayed up night and morning during his whole residence in that place.
Also, that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about him as any man in the city of London.
Let it also be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon.
And then let any man tell me, if he can, how Scrooge, his key in the door, saw on the knocker without its undergoing any intermediate change. Not a knocker, but Marley's face.